Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to take you on an amazing journey. The true story of how Rolls-Royce became the most luxurious car brand in the world. By listening to this story, you will learn new English words, practice your listening, and enjoy an amazing journey. This story is not only about cars, it's about success, hard work, and doing what seems impossible. Imagine a time when cars were slow, ugly, and not dependable. At that time, only rich people used horses and carriages. But then, two men came along and changed everything. They created a car that became a sign of power, success, and luxury. Today, you will hear their story. So sit back, relax, and let's begin this incredible journey. The beginning, in the early 1900s, cars were still very new. They were slow, uncomfortable, and broke down often. If someone tried to travel 100 miles 160 km, the car would stop at least 10 times. Most people didn't believe cars could ever replace horses. Only a few rich people had cars, and many of them were not happy because the cars had so many problems. But two men from very different backgrounds were about to change history. One was a poor engineer, and the other was a rich businessman with a big dream. Their names were Henry Royce and Charles Rolls. Henry Royce was born in 1863 in England. His family was very poor, and life was very hard. His father worked at a mill, but died when Henry was just 9 years old. Because they had no money, Henry couldn't go to school properly. He started working when he was very young. At age 10, Henry sold newspapers and worked as a telegram messenger just to survive. He had no money, no support, and no opportunities. But he had one thing: curiosity. Henry loved machines. He wanted to know how things worked, how to fix them, and how to make them better. When he was 14, he got a job as an apprentice, working 14 hours a day. He fixed streetlights and electric motors. It was a small job, but Henry was not like others. He didn't just do his job. He studied every machine closely and tried to understand everything. One day he asked himself, if I can fix machines, why can't I build my own? That one thought changed everything. With the little money he had saved, Henry started his own business in 1894. At first, he made small electric motors. But Henry always wanted his work to be perfect. He didn't just build machines, he built the best machines. Soon, his company was making some of the strongest electric motors in England. But Henry wasn't happy yet. He wanted to build something bigger, something that could change the world. He decided, I will build my own car. In another part of England, there was another man with a dream, Charles Rolls. Charles Rolls was born in 1877 into a rich and powerful family. His father was a lord, and his family had everything: money, power, and social status. But Charles was different from other rich children. He wasn't interested in parties or luxury. He was obsessed with cars. At that time, cars were rare. But Charles saw something others didn't. He believed that cars were the future of travel. He went to Cambridge University and became one of the first British people to own a car. But he didn't like British cars. He thought they were badly made and didn't work well. So he started traveling around Europe and America, looking for better cars. But everywhere he went, he saw the same thing. Cars were not smooth, not strong, and not reliable. One day, he told a friend, I want to sell cars, but not just any cars. I want to sell the best cars in the world. Then something amazing happened. He heard about a man named Henry Royce, who had built a car that was unlike anything else. Charles Rolls wanted to see this car for himself. On May 4th, 1904, a man named Henry Edmunds arranged a meeting between Charles Rolls and Henry Royce. They met at the Midland Hotel in Manchester. When Rolls saw the Royce 10 HP car, he was shocked. It was better than any car he had ever seen. It was smooth, quiet, and powerful. And unlike other cars, it didn't break down easily. After a short test drive, Rolls said to Royce, "This is the best car I have ever seen. I want to sell it under my name." Royce agreed. And on that day, they made history. They decided to build a car company together. They named it Rolls-Royce. This was more than just a company. It was the start of a revolution in luxury cars. They made a promise: "We will build the best car in the world, no matter how much it costs or how long it takes." And just 3 years later, in 1907, they introduced a car that changed history: the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. When Rolls-Royce introduced the Silver Ghost, the world had never seen a car like it before. Most cars at that time could not even drive 100 miles, 160 km, without stopping. But the Silver Ghost drove 14,371 miles, 23,123 km, without any problems. It was so smooth and quiet that people said, "It feels like a ghost is driving it." Newspapers called it the best car in the world. This car was so advanced, so comfortable, and so reliable that it quickly became a symbol of wealth and success. In just a few years, kings, queens, Hollywood actors, and the richest business people began buying Rolls-Royce cars. It was no longer just a car. It was a symbol of power, success, and luxury. And that was only the beginning. In 1911, the British royal family ordered a Rolls-Royce for $112,000. At that time, a big house only cost $2,000. Hollywood stars bought Rolls-Royce cars to show their fame. Billionaires and world leaders used them to show their power. Rolls-Royce became more than just a car. It became a symbol of perfect luxury. But there was a problem. Most car companies wanted to sell as many cars as possible. Rolls-Royce was different. Henry Royce believed in one rule: take the best thing that exists and make it even better. If it doesn't exist, create it. So while other companies made thousands of cars with machines, Rolls-Royce made cars by hand. Every single Rolls-Royce was handmade. Every part was tested again and again to make sure it was perfect. Each car was made to last a lifetime. Most cars only lasted 5 to 7 years. But some Rolls-Royce cars from over 100 years ago are still working today. People began to say, a Rolls-Royce is not just a car, it's an investment. And they were right. Even today, a well-kept Rolls-Royce from the 1950s can sell for millions of dollars. Then something unexpected happened. In 1914, World War I started. The British Army needed strong and dependable vehicles. They turned to Rolls-Royce. Henry Royce built the Rolls-Royce armored car. It became one of the most famous military vehicles ever made. Even Winston Churchill, who later became Prime Minister of Britain, used a Rolls-Royce armored car. It was so strong that soldiers said, "It feels like we're driving a moving fortress." After the war, Rolls-Royce was no longer just a luxury brand. It was a symbol of strength and engineering brilliance. But Henry Royce was still not satisfied. He had built the best car in the world. Now he wanted to build something even bigger: airplane engines. In 1915, Rolls-Royce made its first airplane engine. By the time World War II began, more than 50% of British fighter planes were using Rolls-Royce engines. One of the most famous planes the Supermarine Spitfire, used the Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. This plane played a key role in defeating the Nazis in World War II. The Rolls-Royce brand had become unstoppable. Now, they were not just building the best cars, they were also making the best engines for airplanes. After World War, the second Rolls-Royce had a new goal: to build something no other car company could match. In 1950, they introduced the Rolls-Royce Phantom, the fourth. Only 18 of these cars were ever made. Each one was specially built for its owner. The British royal family was the first to buy one. At that time, the Phantom IV cost $24,000, enough to buy 12 regular cars. Even today, one Phantom IV can be sold at auction for over $2 million. A Rolls-Royce is not just a car, it sends a message. It says, "I have made it. I am successful. I am powerful." But why? Why does a Rolls-Royce cost so much? Why do billionaires wait years to get one? Let's look inside the world of Rolls-Royce, where perfection is everything, and the price doesn't matter. Most cars are made in large factories. Robots and machines do most of the work. The goal is to make thousands of cars every day. But Rolls-Royce does it differently. There are no robots and no mass production. Every Rolls-Royce is made by hand. It takes 6 months to 1 year to build just one car. Even the paint takes 7 days to apply. Some customers want 24-karat gold dust mixed into the paint, so the car shines like real gold in the sun. When you step inside a Rolls-Royce, it feels like entering a 5-star hotel on wheels. Everything inside is real and high quality. The leather takes 2 weeks to prepare and comes from cows raised in cold climates to avoid insect bites. The metal is solid aluminum and steel. No cheap plastic is used. The goal is simple: make everything perfect. Some customers ask for gold or diamonds inside their car. One billionaire wanted a dashboard covered in diamonds. Rolls-Royce crushed 1,000 diamonds into powder and mixed it into the paint. The cost: over $100,000 just for the dashboard. And then there's the Starlight headliner, one of Rolls-Royce's most famous features. The roof of the car is filled with tiny lights that look like stars in the night sky. Customers can even ask for the exact star pattern from the night they were born. The cost of this feature: between $110,000 and $115,000. But if you think that's expensive, wait until you hear about the most exclusive Rolls-Royce ever made. In 2021, Rolls-Royce surprised the world. They showed a car so rare, so expensive, that only 3 people in the world would ever own it. The Rolls-Royce boat tail costs $28 million, more than a private jet, more than a luxury yacht. So what makes this car so special? The back of the car is inspired by luxury yachts. It opens up like butterfly wings. There is a built-in champagne fridge made to hold Armand de Brignac champagne, which costs $6 per bottle. The car also includes a handmade umbrella hidden inside, with a matching leather case worth $88. The inside of the car is fully custom. Every part, from the seats to the dashboard, was designed for each owner. This is not just a car, it is a piece of art. And guess what? The first owner of the Rolls-Royce boat tail is said to be Jay-Z and Beyoncé. You cannot simply walk into a Rolls-Royce showroom and buy a car. Even if you have millions of dollars, Rolls-Royce chooses who can buy one. If a person does not match the luxury image of the brand, Rolls-Royce might say no. So who owns a Rolls-Royce? The royal family. The Queen of England used a Rolls-Royce for 60 years. The famous people like Drake, Jay-Z, and Post Malone all drive them. Billionaires like the CEO of Google, Jeff Bezos, and the Sultan of Brunei, who owns over 600 Rolls-Royce cars. Some Rolls-Royce cars are so rare that their value goes up over time. For example, a Rolls-Royce Phantom from 1960 originally cost $20,000. Now it can be sold for more than $2 million. A Rolls-Royce is not just a car. It is a message. It shows success and turns a dream into reality. Some people only dream of owning one. Others work for it. And a few people make it happen. Rolls-Royce is not only about luxury. It is also about mindset, ambition, and always aiming for excellence. Now, let's look at the most amazing features of Rolls-Royce that no other car offers. We'll explore the secrets of the $35 billion Rolls-Royce company, the most expensive Rolls-Royce cars ever built, and some powerful life lessons that could change the way you think about success. This is not just a story about cars. It is also about you, your goals, and your future. A Rolls-Royce is not made for everyone. It is made for people who do not accept average. That's why every car is built with extreme care and detail. Why do billionaires love Rolls-Royce? Because when you sit inside, it feels like the world has stopped. Rolls-Royce spent $1 million just to make the engine completely silent. They added 300 pounds of soundproofing so you can't hear anything, not even the wind. The tires have special foam inside to reduce road noise. When you drive a Rolls-Royce, you feel calm, strong, and unstoppable. That is what real success should feel like. Smooth, quiet, and full of confidence. Then there's the magic carpet ride. This feeling costs $500,000 in comfort. It feels like you are floating in the air. The suspension system checks the road 500 times every second and adjusts automatically. Even if you drive over a hole in the road at 80 miles per hour, you won't feel a thing. The car always stays balanced, no matter how fast you go. This is more than just technology. It's some of the best engineering in the world. Because when you are truly successful, you don't let small problems slow you down. You keep moving forward, smoothly, easily, and with full confidence. Now let's talk about the $25,000 umbrella, the Rolls-Royce way of thinking. What kind of car has an umbrella hidden in the door? Only Rolls-Royce. And it's not just a normal umbrella. It is water-resistant and heat-proof. It also has a built-in drying system, so it's always ready to use. It costs $25,000, more than some people's entire cars. Why? Because Rolls-Royce believes everything should be perfect, even the umbrella. And that is the mindset of very successful people. Never accept average. Always aim for the best in everything. Some people buy regular cars. Some buy luxury cars. And a few buy history. Take the Rolls-Royce Sweptail, for example. It costs $13 million. It was built for one secret billionaire. It took 4 years to design and make. It was inspired by luxury yachts and private jets. This is not just a car. It's a work of art. Then there's the Rolls-Royce Phantom 2023. It costs $600,000. It is the top choice for billionaires. It has a dashboard, covered in gold, worth $30,000. The inside is made with the rarest materials in the world. To most people, this car is a dream. To a billionaire, it's just another toy. Rolls-Royce didn't focus on making many cars. They focused on quality. They tested every part, thousands of times. They turned Rolls-Royce into a symbol of power, success, and something only a few can own. Over the next 100 years, Rolls-Royce became the top symbol of luxury and success. Today, the company is worth $35 billion. The price of a Rolls-Royce ranges from $500,000 to $30 million. The lesson is clear. If you focus on doing things with excellence, success will follow. Don't try to compete with others. Be the best. Rolls-Royce doesn't compete with Ferrari, Lamborghini, or Mercedes because they are in a league of their own. The next lesson: don't try to be better than others. Become so good that no one can compare to you. Success takes time. A single Rolls-Royce takes 6 months to 1 year to build, and it took over 100 years for the company to become the best. So remember, don't expect success to come quickly. Be patient. Work hard and trust the process. Set high standards. Most cars are built in just a few hours, but a Rolls-Royce is made by hand using the best materials. The lesson is, never accept average results. Set high goals and keep going until you reach them. Be exclusive. Not everyone can buy a Rolls-Royce. The lesson is, don't try to please everyone. Focus on your talent, your work, and your passion. The right people will notice you. A Rolls-Royce is more than just a car. It stands for people who never give up. It shows the value of hard work, high standards, and big dreams. If you want to live a Rolls-Royce life, you must work like Henry Royce, always chasing perfection. Think like Charles Rolls, always aiming for the top and never settling for less than the best. Because one day, when you sit inside your own Rolls-Royce, you will smile and say, "I did it. I made it." Now tell me, if you could own any Rolls-Royce in the world, which one would you choose? If this story inspired you or helped you learn something new, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more simple and powerful English stories that motivate and teach. And hit the bell so you never miss our next video. Remember, success takes time, but it always begins with a dream. Thank you for watching.